A bit of retro tech for you on the programme because Peter O'Brien is with me to talk about the Minitel, that is France's iconic predecessor to the internet. Hi, Peter.
Hi, Nadia.
So our international viewers, and frankly, perhaps some of our younger viewers here in France might not know what's in front of you right now. So just start by telling us what it is.
Yeah, that's right. I'm not usually one for nostalgia, but I just love this thing because I love tech which has actual clicky buttons, things you can actually interact with. This, as you said, is the Minitel, and it's iconic in France. Every French person from probably my age upwards knows exactly what it is because it was used by 25 million French people by the time it got to the year 2000. It was first introduced in 1980. But what's it actually for? Well, it started as a way to upgrade France's very creaky telecoms network and started basically just as a glorified phone book. But it was soon able to do a whole lot more than that. So let's take a look at what else it can do. This is France's iconic Minitel, and from 1980 to 2012, it was used by millions of French people. All they had to do was connect it to their phone line and type in 4 numbers beginning with 36. From there, the Minitel would access the Transpac network and bring them thousands of services, everything from news to travel booking to reading the weather. For instance, let's put in the weather here, météo, and we can click on send, and it will show us the weather in Paris today. The reason this one still works 10 years after the Minitel were taken out of service is because it's connected to a very clever little box called a mini-mit. This allows even the oldest Minitels to be connected to Wi-Fi, from where they can access a whole host of lovingly recrafted services and apps by the Minitel fan community. They've even recreated the infamous messagerie rose, which were pretty much the first form of sexting.
Okay, Peter, take us back in time. What was the internet like before the internet?
Right, so this is a typically French thing. I can't really put my finger on why, but it was coexisting with the internet for years and years and years. So this did precede the internet. It was very innovative when it first came out in 1980. Of course, the internet started coming along in 1990. But it was only in 2012 when the Minitel was taken out of service did people fully move to the internet in France. There were 800,000 people still using it in 2012.
Wow.
That's 10 years ago. One long forgotten fact as well is that it was actually introduced and exported to lots of other countries. Ireland, Belgium, the US, even apartheid South Africa. By 1997, France Telecom and the Minitel market as a whole were making 6 billion francs a year. That's almost 1.5 billion euros. So it's not just some sort of weird retro tech that really wasn't in people's lives. It was. They were using it every day to send messages, do their shopping, do their banking. So why did it actually eventually lose out to the internet? Well, quite simply, services on the internet are by nature free. Well, they were at the time at least, whereas on Minitel you had to pay over £1 a minute for online services. That really racked up, particularly people addicted to Minitel, and there were some very addictive things on there, including some quite not safe for work content.
Look, we are at work, but I'm going to have to push you. Just tell us, what kind of content are you talking about?
Well, it's maybe not a surprise that the precursor to the internet had an enormous amount of naughty content on it. Obviously, the screen, as you saw in the clip, can't exactly display things in great definition. So it was mostly to do with chatting to strangers. This happened a lot on the Minitel. People would even sneak off in their offices to use the Minitel at work instead of the one at home because it costs so much to use these illicit chat services. What's funny is that recent studies have figured out that it was actually mostly straight men talking to other men who were paid to sort of pose as women on these proto chat rooms. It's kind of the original catfishing, if you like. And if you know Xavier Niel, the French billionaire who founded the telecoms company Free, well, he made a fortune off of what was called the Minitel Rose, so the pink Minitel. It wasn't
just that kind of side that was alternative, let's say, on the Minitel. It was also the first site there was really something you could call hacking in France. So people would figure out ways to phone into the servers and get services for free. Also, a little known fact, but a very interesting one, is that the May '68 student uprising in France was in large part organized on the Minitel. So similar to uprisings that we've seen in recent years, of course, that have been organized on things like Twitter and elsewhere. So in the end, obviously the Minitel was priced out by the internet, but I think it remains a reminder of what could have been if France had taken over the world with its idea of the internet. It's such a French story, this brilliant idea that comes out of nowhere, shocks everyone, then sort of just disappears again.
Yeah, a little bit of technology history. Thanks very much indeed for coming in to talk to us about it. Peter O'Brien, nice to see you.